Alright, so it's about maybe 7:30 in the morning right now, and it is Monday morning. It's April 6th, so in about a half an hour, my Google Classroom is gonna start. So I wanted to show you guys what I do every morning as far as food. Obviously, this is not gonna be like a fancy thing. This is like what I eat in a day, as realistic as possible. So before I show you guys my avocado toast, which is pretty much what I eat every single morning, literally every single morning, and I'm also just gonna show you like what creamer I use for my coffee and stuff. And also you guys are gonna see the plates and the cups. I colored those or painted them myself back in February when I went out with my sister, so that's really cool too. I have my ring light set up, FYI, too, which is really annoying that it had to be like that extra because my kitchen is still really dark right now. The sun is like on the other side of the apartment, so without the ring light it would be so dark in here. So that's why I keep like trying to bend, because you can see it in my glasses, which is really annoying. But anyways, that's pretty much it. I've been talking for way too long. I probably wasted so much time and I need to get to my computer ASAP. So I'm going to show you guys how I make this, and then I'll see you guys for lunch. Okay, breakfast is super simple. I'm cutting open this avocado that was so perfectly ripe. Again, this is how I do it. I'm gonna just use one half. The other half is gonna be for Miguel's sandwich. And that's my bread that I've toasted. I don't know if you guys know, but Vegenaise is vegan mayo, and it's the best one that I've tried only because it has like a really good vinegar flavor. Some of the other ones that I've had, I honestly just don't think they taste like much. I think this one tastes the most like regular mayo. Then I'm going to use the same spoon because I'm so tired of doing dishes. And I'm going to just scoop out the avocado, and I'm going to place that on top of my bread. Then I'm going to add some salt. Also going to add some pepper. This is some garlic powder. Also nutritional yeast. I'm taking a pretty decent amount. I like that it is packed with B vitamins, and also will add like a cheesy flavor. And then here are some onions from the night before's dinner. I didn't use all of them, so these are just chopped up red onions or purple onions. And then I am also going to just squeeze some lemon juice on top. And that is pretty much my breakfast. Every single morning, that is what I'm making if we have avocado in the house. And then quickly, I'm just going to show you my coffee. I actually painted that cup. I'm obsessed with it. I'm just going to take some brown sugar. I don't really know what the heck is light brown sugar, but it was the only brown sugar that my supermarket had, so we took it. And then I'm pouring my coffee, which is Bustelo, and then this silk creamer. I love the vanilla flavor. It's my favorite one, and that's it. Alright, so now it's time for lunch. I'm actually going to just show you guys something that I make all of the time. If you follow me on Instagram, you're constantly seeing me post my kale salad and my roasted sweet potatoes. So I'm gonna be showing you guys how I make that today. I do have to say though, none of these recipes or just like combinations are mine. I watch so many vegan videos on YouTube, and then I just start collecting all of these ideas throughout the course of like watching all these videos. I write a lot of the recipes down, and then I end up just making them at home. So I'm just gonna show you guys what we eat here usually for lunch if we're not popping like a vegan pizza into the toaster oven and I decide to actually make lunch. This is more than likely what we would be eating. So I'm not an expert on like how to cook, so you guys may even see me do some things wrong. It is what it is. I'm not here trying to promote anything. It's just, this is what I eat in a day. Here are really easy vegan recipes. And so let me show you guys what we eat for lunch because I'm really hungry and I need to get this started. All right, so I'm starting out with 3 peeled sweet potatoes. I am just cutting them up really messily. I'm just trying to make sure that they're all pretty much the same size. And because I am such a clumsy person when it comes to cutting, you're gonna be like, girl, why are you cutting that way? But if I have all 5 of my fingers on the top, then at least I know that my fingers are 100% away from the knife and them being sharp. So please excuse that, the way that I cut. I know it looks so silly, but it just ensures that my fingers are safe. And once I have cut up all the sweet potatoes, I'm gonna lay them on a pan with parchment paper. This is extra virgin olive oil, just a little bit. I'm also going to add a ton of garlic powder, oregano, and salt. Once I'm done adding those three things, I'm just going to mix them around with my hand. And then that is going to go into the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. Here in this pot, I'm just eyeballing some quinoa. That's also something that, like, I'm not measuring anything. Everything is just eyeballing. I'm also adding salt. This is 2 grated cloves of garlic. I've added water, and then now I'm going to add 1/4 cup of vegetable stock. All of these things together are going to give your quinoa so much flavor. Mix it around, put it on the stove. Now in this big bowl, I'm adding chopped kale. Usually I get kale fresh from the supermarket, but I couldn't find any, so I had to buy this bag, and they literally just put it through a grater, and so you have to take out all of the stems. You cannot eat stems from kale. They're way too tough for your body to digest. So I picked out all those stems. Again, here are some carrots that I had from the night before, baby carrots, taking out a few, and I'm just gonna cut those up, roughly chop them, and then I'm going to add those to my salad as well. I found this recipe from a YouTuber, Sophia. I don't know how to say her last name. I'm gonna link her in the description box because all of her videos, all her food looks amazing. But anyways, now I'm also adding half of a lemon, a little bit of salt. It's a lot of kale, so you want to add a lot of salt. I'm adding a pretty good amount of pepper. I'm also adding some turmeric, which, because I've also added the pepper, your body will digest it really well. And then I'm adding a clove of grated garlic. I obviously love garlic. It's also good for you, healthy for you, boosts your immune system. Then I'm adding 4 capfuls of apple cider vinegar. I know that this is a pretty tart vinegar, but all together, and if you add enough oil, it'll be just fine. And then 1 capful of soy sauce, and here goes all of my extra virgin olive oil. Add a really good amount to balance out all of the acidity. And then here I'm going in with so much nutritional yeast. Again, it adds a lot of flavor and it's also extremely healthy. And then the trick is to mix this with your hands. Because kale is such a dark leafy green, you want to make sure that you break up the kale so that it's easier for your body to digest. And there I go, picking out more stems. But you want it, this is the trick. You need to massage your kale, and also it helps so that the dressing absorbs into the kale. So many times I've had really dry kale because I did not massage it. So make sure that you do that. That is the key. So does anyone else like check their food by tasting it and then you end up eating like just a bunch of raw stuff, just checking to see if your food's good? But I'm gonna try this quinoa, just need it to cool down a little bit. The salad is here, it looks so good, I'm so excited to eat it. I'm also like starving, it's probably like 2:40 right now, and the last time I ate was at like 8 o'clock in the morning, which was the avocado toast. Almost, maybe like 5 more minutes. And my potatoes also need about 5 more minutes. Usually I'll snack. My snacks are like nothing crazy. I'll usually have like maybe chips and salsa, or So Delicious has vegan yogurt. Let me actually show you guys. So my favorite brand of this one is Key Lime Pie. So good. And sometimes I'll just add like some pumpkin seeds in here and then stir that up, or when I was like buying fruit, also like blueberries. But this is usually what I'll do for a snack, and if I just want to like, you know, pig out, I'll eat like chips or something. And that's, yeah, pretty much it. So lunch is almost ready and I cannot wait. The potatoes are finally done. You want to always check them, stick a fork inside, make sure that they're tender but not like falling apart. And my quinoa is also good as well. So now I'm going to put everything in a bowl. Miguel likes things in a plate, but I prefer this in a bowl. So here's mine. First, I'm adding the potatoes on one side, adding the quinoa on the other. And then I'm just going to take my kale salad and I'm just going to dump it all on top of there. And usually when I eat this, I like to just mix it all together so that it becomes like one big Buddha bowl.
And then here, because cooking lunch took way too much time, I'm just sitting here on my sofa. This is pretty much what remote teaching looks like. And then I ended up reading an email and I realized that I was supposed to respond to that like 15, 20 minutes before I sat down. So I kind of like freaked out and started just responding back and forth, responding to the students, waiting for responses, checking to make sure that on their end everything is good. And so this is lunch and also just eating and teaching all at the same time, or stressful. Hands up if you want to see your students already, but you know it's just better to stay home and keep everyone safe.
All right, so now it's time for dinner. It's already 7:30. I cannot believe how quickly this day has gone by. But I'm gonna show you guys this like quick pasta recipe. It's kind of one of those things when I'm not in the mood to be in the kitchen for a long time. This is just something that I can make really, really quickly, and it's filling. So I'm gonna be making seitan. I took out the packaging, but this is seitan with some vegetables, and it's gonna be in like a garlic sauce with some pasta. So I'll show you guys quickly how I get that going. I already have a pot of water, salted water boiling, and then I'm gonna show you all the things that I add to my pan to make the seitan and put all the veggies and stuff together. So let's get started on dinner.
So I've already pre-cut half of a white onion and 2 cloves of garlic. If you haven't noticed already, I am obsessed with garlic. Then in this pan, I've added a little bit of olive oil and just waiting for it to get hot. My water already had started boiling, so I went in and added in my whole wheat pasta. Then I added in about half of the white onion that I had there chopped up. And once I saw that it started to get a little bit translucent, I started to add in the seitan. Now the chunks of this are pretty thick, so I'm just breaking them up with my hand. And it's really important to keep in mind that this is already packed with a lot of sodium. So the one thing you do not need to add, at least with this specific brand, is salt. But I did add the onions and then I added the seitan. Some of the garlic is also in there too. That's some Montreal steak seasoning, which is vegan. This is some smoked paprika, which I love to add to any of my like alternative meats. And then I'm just gonna allow that to cook and kind of get a little crispy on the outside. This is already cooked, so you are pretty much just doing this to heat it up. And so I just like for it to get a little bit crispy. And then unfortunately, I thought it was filming and I wasn't. I took out everything from that pan. I added a little bit more olive oil, the rest of my onions, the rest of my garlic on a really, really low heat, and then I added my broccoli. Now, if you cover the broccoli with just a little bit of water, it'll steam and it'll soften them up. Now what I'm going to do is add a little bit of vegetable stock because I want to start to build a sauce of some kind. And then I'm also adding red pepper flakes. That's a bunch of Italian seasoning. And then I'm mixing that all around. And then I will eventually cover it again. I don't think I showed you guys, just to make sure that the broccoli ends up getting soft. I add a little bit of butter just because it was too liquidy and I wanted it to be able to hold on to the pasta. And then once that was done and my broccoli was soft but not falling apart, then I added in the rest of the seitan because I wanted it to keep its crispy texture. Then my pasta was done. I added my pasta to that pan as well. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to mix it all around. And then the weirdest thing, but I do this all the time, is I'm going to add a little bit of the vegan mayo. I like the little tart flavor that it has. It's almost like adding sour cream into your pasta. I just love it. I'm obsessed. I did finish with a little bit of pepper and then I am going to plate it. So this meal was so quick, so simple, so easy, and really, really flavorful. This is Go Veggie, their version of Parmesan cheese. It's okay. I have better, but we have it, so we're going to use it. And that was dinner. I hope that you guys enjoy this video.